And hello, and welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is all about how I get my ideas for the paintings I'm about to do, especially a series. You know, it's one of the big questions they always ask me, and I never thought about it too much until I realized, you see all these circus pieces? There's a way I got there originally. I have circus, magic shows. These are some of the pieces that I would do every day, including even my small warm-ups. These are the clowns and circus performers, and a little bit, 6 inches by 9 inches. See, I put them all together. That way I don't lose them. And I tape them on the back. But I do mostly circus themes on this particular series. Why circus? Let me show you where and how I get my ideas. In earlier BobBlast, I covered all 6 of these subjects before I even begin a painting. Okay, so the very first thing, where do I get my ideas? How do I get my ideas? I start off with concept. What's the concept? I have to know what the heck I'm doing before I even begin the colors and contrast and composition and things like that. So what I do really was, for my paintings, they're all about childhood. I loved my childhood. I did the circus performers in the backyard and did magic shows in the living room on a Sunday afternoon, that kind of a thing. And so all the things that I was doing as a child, plus the acrobatics and puppet shows, things like that, is all the things that I remember and gave me pleasure. And so that's what I write about. So I journal in all of my sketchbooks. Look, different kinds of sketchbooks. Oh my gosh, he even sketches in his sketchbook. So I write, get all my ideas. It's my toolbox, but mostly it's all about sketches, drawings, and paintings I did before. And now I take all those ideas and decide, okay, maybe the subject matter might be circus. We'll say for circus, for instance. And I'll sketch for a while. Now, before I even begin a painting, I always name it first. That way I know when it's done, when it matches the name or the title. So where do I get my names? Well, I can only think about so many of them. This is the magic book to get all the names. I might look up in the Rosé Thesaurus the word magic or circus, look it up, and bam, there'll be about 500 titles all about having to do with circus or magic shows or whatever I'm looking up. So it's a great tool to have. That's where I get my ideas. Then, once I start writing, and I'll write maybe for an hour or so until all my memories are right there. Doesn't take very long, but they're all right there in the sketchbook. And then I'm starting to visualize what I wanted the painting to say. Is it happiness, joy, danger, walking on the trapeze, or something like that? So what is it? So I'll get all those emotions out, and then that's when I start doing some sketching. Let me show you the kind of sketching I do. So how I get my idea, I take a full sheet, 22 inches by 30 inches, cut it all up this size. I get 8 little paintings. These are my practice pieces. These are my warm-ups. This is what I like to do every morning. So remember, I have 8 of these out here. I can get 8 paintings out of one sheet. I'm going for the concept. The concept, I've already written it out here for you. It's about me being in the circus and pretending I was in the circus in the backyard. So when I was a circus clown, and I did put on clown makeup just because I love to do that, and so I'm going to be dealing with circus, hoops, juggling, and nothing more. There's a lot more to do with the circus. I'm going to narrow it down to just a clown, maybe a hoop, and maybe some juggling. That's as far as I'm going to go. It's called painting and sketching. I have my colors all ready to go. My colors happen to be from my color wheel. Blue will be the dominant. I already have the blue out. Red's the focal point. The red and some hot pink in there. It's still red. And then I have my yellow and my purple. My yellow and purple. I'm going to be making from my hot pink and my blue. I'll make my own purple because it's fun that way. And again, the dominant color will be blue, the focal point color. This will be the dominant color, these. And this will be the focal point. Let's get started. And I'm going to always start off loose. So I like to start with gigantic brushes. The big, bold shapes. How many times have you heard that? Start big, bold. I've also heard under every great painting is a great abstract painting. Always start fresh, big, bold, lots of water. Have your stuff out all ready to go, and this is how I go. Usually crank up some circus music maybe. Here we go. Be a kind of a bluish background. Do some negative shape painting right off the bat. That'll be the clown right there. His feet will come down into that area. I'm going to do several of them all at the same time. That way I don't stay in one area too long. So I have somewhat of a silhouette of a clown. All right. Oh, this dude happens to give some legs. You know, they're silly shapes, doing silly things. That's the whole idea of a clown here, right? Big, bold, strong, graphic pieces. I'll just keep on going. We'll stop at this. We'll see what else happens down here. Back and forth, back and forth. Bring some dark across the top already. Bringing some wet into wet. Working all of them at the same time. It's a great way to stay loose. Don't stay in one area too long. You'll start tickling it to death. You've heard me say that before. What I'm doing right now is I'm working on the contrast. Right off the bat. Okay, now let's get the figure in here. Figure, of course, is a clown. We're in a crazy outfit. I'm going to put all the crazy outfits on here first. Keep it moving. Whew. There we go. Clown has a white face. I'm going to give it a white face. Now that white, his clown outfit starts to get a little bit darker when it goes down into this area. So hang in there for a little bit. I'm going to be doing some legs. Crazy legs, huh? Now I'll get some white in here. I'm going to do the Rembrandt lighting. That's in my other BobBlast, the Rembrandt lighting. So I have the dark on the top. The bottom in here is going to be light. Big brushes. The advantage of a big brush, it holds a lot of paint. Painting with my fingers now. There we go. Don't want to cover up the words. I'll forget what I'm doing. It's really a good idea to have your notes out like that. They constantly remind you, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Things like that. Should have already figured that out beforehand. Why are we doing this in the first place? I always like to say, decide what you want, then make it happen. Many of us get confused because we haven't decided on what we want first. All right, put the clown face in here now. Lots of titanium white in here. Gets us started. Big brushes. So, this is the color I want in here. No details yet. Big bold shapes. Get in the spice color. Whew. Look how I just kicked up that whole little area right in here. Could be part of the outfit, could be spotlights, whatever you want to imagine it to be. The whole idea is to stay loose, fast. Now to get the purple, the violet, I'm going to make my own. this wonderful hot paint, the opera. We love that color. And that could be right back in here. Might be hard to see in this video. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit so you can see the violet. Again, it's a warm-up. It only takes me a few minutes to get started. I don't sit around and think about it for a long time. Just open up the floodgates, let it go. Let your brushes fly all over the place. This is the time to be wild and crazy. If you don't do it here, where else are you going to do it? And it's the time to take risk-taking. If you start painting like everybody else's, your work's going to look like everybody else's. Your whole job is to show the world new work. Show them what's coming from you. Be the painter you should have always been. It's never too late. That's how I get started. And then from there, I'll usually move around to something a much larger format, canvases, larger pieces of paper, something like that. But that's how I start every morning, and I hope you do too. Thanks for watching. That's it for me. I'll see you on the next BobBlast. And here's my latest announcement. It's all about trade shows. I'm going to be doing 3 of them this year. Can't wait, they're fantastic. But why do trade shows? Well, first of all, they're major exhibits of all the major art materials manufacturers. You know, with fantastic discounts. I know people that bring their trucks just so they can stock up on all the discounts. And they also bring in a lot of instructors like myself, and we do many 3-hour and sometimes 6-hour workshops. And we supply the art materials. How cool is that, right? So you can sign up early. Check out these 3 that I'm about to tell you about. All right, coming right up here on July 23rd, Burlington, Vermont. That's right there, that's the headquarters of Holbein. And I'm going to be there. Many other Holbein artists will be there. We do these fantastic workshops. Check it on my website. Next one after that will be in September 27th. Sponsored by Artisans of Santa Fe. And who doesn't want to go to Santa Fe? You know, you've seen all those wonderful photographs. It really does look like that. So that's another major art expo where fantastic discounts, and you'll get to meet and talk to the manufacturers that actually, the materials that you use. So that's pretty cool for you to meet all these people. Then Art of the Carolinas. Oh, we've been talking about that one all year. That is major. You know, that one is sponsored by Jerry's Artorama. And so that'll be in Raleigh, again, November the 8th. Sharon DiGiulio does a great job at organizing all of us crazy artists and getting us into the workshops we want to get into. That's fantastic. They treat us so well. That's why I do those particular 3 workshops. There are many more out there. They're the ones I can fit into my schedule. I'm so glad you were able to have a chance to take a look at this. Again, I'll see you in Burlington, Vermont, or Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Raleigh, North Carolina.